Righty, well, everyone, please stay standing, and we're going to ask for Councillor Riley to lead us in prayer.
Thank you. As we gather together, we pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask for guidance in conducting our work with a spirit of enthusiasm and collaboration. Help us to find ways to work together to reach the best decisions for our community. Amen.
Thank you, Councillor Riley. Please stay standing, and we'll forward with our way out. Wonderful, beautiful. Please be seated. Welcome everyone. School for Ecology, there's none. Cool, and I'd like to welcome from Horticultural Forum, Tracy and Mandy. Great to see you, and please come up and we'll start with the team who have come by invite to tell us what they're up to, so we're really looking forward to this.
We're not.
No pressure whatsoever.
All right, kia ora koutou. So I'm Katie Weston, I'm the manager of Untitled Chapter, Mandy Wells, and Tracy Everyone. So what have we been up to? We've had a really busy time, I guess, in the last 12 months. We went from having a database of about 1,500 people to over 5,000 last year, which was largely due to COVID. Due to that fact, we've been recognised by MSD and we've been awarded the position of a community connector, which is Tracy. This is fantastic, I guess, for us because it gives us bigger outreach into our community. Tracy can provide a wraparound service for families and goes and visits them, tries to connect people to our government services. We found during COVID that a lot of our English second language communities were not very well connected, did not traditional forms of communication, as in newspapers, websites, and stuff like that, were just ineffective. So a lot of people kind of came to us for assistance. We're the lead agency in Te Maro for working with and supporting all of the ethnicities across the region. We have very strong cultural groups, but we pride ourselves in working with everybody. We provide holistic support. I guess the good way to describe this is give an example. So I was actually approached by a Jehovah's Witness who had gone to this lady's house. She'd been in her home 4 months with her 6-year-old daughter, and they had left the home. The husband was at work. long story short, we went to her home, got her daughter on the right visa so she could attend school, went to school to enrol her, helped get a uniform, took her to the supermarket to get the food, to show her what to put in lunch boxes, enrolled the mum with English lessons, enrolled her with the library, stuff like that. That's a summary, I guess, of what we do, very much that holistic support. We work really closely with other agencies in our community. One of the things that we're working with at the moment is driver's licences. We've seen that as a huge issue, especially with our non-residents not having correct driver's licences. This is largely down to their understanding of English and to try and get a nurse licence. And there is no free English lessons for non-residents, so this is proving to be a barrier. So we're working with police, English language partners, and Daniel Norman Road Safety on this to see what we can do. But we've got a waiting list of over 100 people at the moment to try and get this support. Some of the weekly things we do, we have immigration advisors come in once a week to offer a free 15-minute consultation. Obviously, some people are still stuck here and still wondering what visa they're needing not to be on, what kind of help and guidance. So that they come in once a week. We run a multicultural playgroup, also we support Blanket, to run a multicultural playgroup. So they contacted us stating that they wanted more diversity guests coming to their groups. We've just, this weekend, we've been running a project called Aoraki Connect with neighbourhood support. And what that is to try and get more of our ethnicities to know what to do in case of an emergency. So we've actually just put 20 people through their first aid certificates, and the next meeting with these people is to connect with fire, police, support, so they know who to go to, plus the DHB, because we're working closely with them how to roll out these vaccines so we can communicate what's happening with our entire community. The other very successful thing that we run is we call it our coffee group. We usually have about 20 to 30 generally women to these groups, and it's really to prevent because a lot of these people are quite isolated, their children are at schools, their husbands or partners are at work, and the mums quite often stuck at home. We connect a lot of the community, and with that we get fire safety to come in and talk to do fire safety of their homes, and check they've got smoke alarms. We take them to the recycling centre, talk about the zero waste, just trying to connect them to the community. But that's probably enough for me. Obviously one of the most successful things we've done recently is our International Food Festival, which Mary's going to talk about.
Just because Katie needs a break. So we had an International Food Festival in the weekend. It's the second time we've held it. So we received that with funding from ethnic communities. So the first time we ran it at this event centre. And it was really successful. We had stalls, activities, performances. So it's celebrating culture in that sort of area. And I think it's really important for Timaru and South Canterbury because we've grown as a community where we have been a lot of New Zealanders and our community has grown a lot. So the International Food Festival we did this year, we had less funding, so we received less funding from the ethnic communities this year. So we did it at the farmers market, which was really fantastic. So it's something that's really relevant to Timaru and is already established here. And we had the largest market that they've had this year at all. So there was 85 stalls, 29 of them were food stalls at ours and 4 other stalls. And it was really hugely successful. Most of the food was sold out, and the time before our first opportunity that we did it, we had 9 stalls and they've sold out. So they knew that there was going to be a lot more food. So we were a little bit concerned that there might be a whole lot of food that doesn't get eaten, but the Timaru community really embraced the International Food Fest. Most of the stalls sold out, and we got overwhelmingly positive feedback. But the positive feedback that we got from the Timaruvians was that they were unaware of the cultural diversity that we have that exists in Timaru now, and it really brought that to the fore. So everybody loved it. We believe what we do as a role, which is really important for the South Canterbury community, is that we welcome new people, new migrants, but new people, newcomers to Timaru, and that's what service that we provide that we do very well. We celebrate all the cultures that are present in our community, and our community is ready for that. Our communities, our cultural communities want to be a part of our community, which is really important, and our community want to be a part of it too. So we make Timaru a really attractive place to come to. You know, that we celebrate culture, that they're going to be safe, that they're going to be okay here. Because, you know, our reputation has been a little bit different before. We are inclusive and we connect people to the services. That's what Tracy does. So we create connectivity and we support people once they get here. So once they come, we make it an attractive place for people to come to, but we also make it attractive to keep people here. So it's providing the support so that they stay here, they feel connected to our community and they're part of our community. And we think that's where our strength really lies. And?
Do you guys have any questions?
Cool, thanks, team, really appreciate that. And welcome, Tracy. I thought it was an exciting appointment. And I've heard that, just a real 4-year appointment, I think, those are the so great to have that connection and to contacts you've already got, and there's a bit of bonus as well, I think, for our community. Thanks, Parker.
Thank you, ladies. So transportation is a real issue for many, and South Canterbury and Marsden Rural. Can you tell us about how you do outreach or reach out to the communities in the rural sector?
We go to Dearly and Twizel on a monthly basis, Geraldine on a monthly and Wamasi every fortnight to try and get to these communities. We are working with the Rural Trust and the Women's Rural Support Trust because we know licence is a real big issue with these people and why they are quite isolated, not being able to travel. Around obviously the local, we've actually connected a lot of people that live my way, some of that other ways we kind of go out to the districts.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, licences are really interesting one. I think it's talking with Sina, you know, in the community, Tom community as well, and probably same on as well. Just getting those licences, it's the ability to get into whatever. So really, really important. It's really been highlighted in the last probably year or so, hasn't it? And probably in the country here, but it's great to see some initiatives supporting it. So thank you, Councillor Wright.
Thank you, ladies. In your opinion, is there a real desire to learn English and really immerse their people into like New Zealand culture? You feel, you're quite confident that it's there. You know, they want to be here and they're happy to be here. And
I can give you an example of that today. A lady has just moved up from Oamaru. She's only been here 7 or 8 days and she's already been for an interview today. And I talked to her about introducing her to people at the mosque because she's a Malaysian Muslim. She doesn't actually want to. She has got that contact, she can go and do that. What she wants from us is to actually help her daughter get into the school, which we've done, and the school uniforms, all of those things. Driving licences. All her husband have driving licences, New Zealand driving licences. So they rely on rides to get places, my way, which we've introduced her to. And that's what she wants. She wants to be part of our culture. Like we talked about what voluntary work she could get involved with now, because she can speak some Arabic, she can speak Malay and English, which is excellent. So yeah, it's a huge thing, and English has been a big problem because you can only, most of the groups here only offer English to people who are resident.
yeah.
And that's a huge problem because people are stuck here because of COVID and they're not resident, but they are here for quite a long time now.
Yes.
And they, it's very difficult for them to integrate if they can't actually understand. They certainly can't take driving licenses. So that's
Thank you.
We also find that our coffee group, that even though it sounds like it's very casual, is actually a really important way for people to connect with our community because they come together, and that's why we are multicultural rather than the migrant centre is because it's about all cultures connecting with the New Zealand community, with everybody here. And once we find that we get people develop the confidence to come into a group and practice their English with other people in a safe environment where it's non-formal and practice, they develop the confidence to actually, and often we have having to start an after hours coffee group because they're getting jobs, they're getting work, they have the confidence to apply for work now, so they're getting jobs, and then they need another after hours group so that they can still connect and meet people, because actually if you get them to be able to speak English and practice it, then they gain a lot of confidence and they really become part of our community because they feel they can.
I think that's important, that flows through there.
Yes.
We go to shops and talk to shopkeepers.
We have bi-monthly meetings with about 10 cultural leaders because we want to support our cultural groups because we obviously it's very important that people remain strong in their culture, but we need to, part of our role is to bring them into the community and to make sure that everybody's working together.
Yeah, cool. And I think that, the National Food Fest, the other weekends, other than the fact that I was probably full by 9:30, too much, was a real success in celebrating at the university and probably educating people along the way, the cultures that do make up the district and wider South Canterbury, and how important it is for us. So, to your point, Mandy, I think we've gone a long way in the last couple of decades. But there's still going to be pressures on us, and it's really important. As we as leaders in the community and yourselves work together to make sure everyone's lives in harmony and gets the opportunities that listen to not just one group, but across all groups. So we really appreciate all the work and your connection to council. It's really important to us. So thank you. And any other questions? I'm going to cut anyone off. Yeah, and thank you for your attendance. We really appreciate it.
I just had a
Oh, sorry.
which just really to echo what Roger says, you guys do such an amazing job and I'm hugely appreciative of what you do. I think there would be a massive gap if you weren't here. And it's so exciting to see you as an organisation growing and really developing and being able to take on a whole lot of new stuff. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate that. Alrighty, moving further forward on the agenda. So, urgent business, is there anything? Medicinal in nature? No. Conflicts of interest? No. So, we move now to confirmation of minutes. Let's check to see what one. Move for those. Councillor O'Reilly, Councillor Parker. Motion for all those in favour, please say aye. Against carried. Sequel 2, until the 9th of March. We'll move for that. Councillor Parker. Councillor Bird. Councillor Borges. Motion for the floor, those in favour, please say aye. Against carried. Sequel 3, 16th of March. Thank you. Councillor Bird. Councillor Lyon. Oh, sorry, Mr. Councillor, will you next time? The motion to the floor, those in favour, please say aye. Move now to 8.1, schedules of functions, by Mayor, Deputy Mayor and Councillors. Thank you for all those that have helped in that regard. Move that, Councillor, thank you. Motion to the floor, those in favour, please say aye. 2, actually 4, which is attended by the CE, Councillor Oliver, Councillor Parker. Those in favour, please say aye. So now some slight changes to reporting what we might do is just to end any relevant team members just to speak to items 7.1, 7.2, 7.3. Oh, sorry, wrong way. You've got the numbers wrong. I'm looking at the 9, I just can't see it. 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, although we can't these, just talk to what's involved here.
Good afternoon, councillors and Bishop. So, as you know, over the last period of time, we've been working on the long-term plan process. We're hoping today to have reached another milestone on the journey. At this stage, we're not quite there. Top of Everest isn't quite there. We found out there's another hump just to get there. So, at this stage, you have 3 reports on the agenda relating to the long-term plan. One around the review of financing policy amendment and consultation on that. One around the supporting information to the long-term plan, and one around the consultation document. So at this stage, we can't adopt that because we're still awaiting audit feedback and finalisation of that. At this stage, we're not certain on when that's going to come. We're hoping within the week. But obviously, because we don't have that audit final opinion, you can't adopt at this point in time. So once we get that process, we will call an emergency meeting to get it adopted so we can get things underway in terms of engagement. And we're hoping that that will be sort of within the time frame that we'll set, but at this stage it's not. We'll have to extend that out. We don't think at this point that it will impact on us meeting our June deadline to adopt LTP. Obviously, there's a long way to go there yet. So I don't know how you want to sort of go through that in months.
I think we might just go through the policies and just potentially addressing the questions that anyone had. So go to 9.1. And just is there, did anyone want to talk to the policy in general? I think most of it will just address questions. And address questions on 9.1. Is there anything specifically to that?
Workshop.
Yeah, so in this spirit, yeah, very much is signing off for the CD. So let's go to 9.2. Supporting info for the long-term planning consultation doc. Any questions? The team right now, so we work through. We've got pages highlighted. So that's on page 43. We're happy with that. We'll just move forward. If you just pull me up if you want to go back to something. And then page 60, the consultation doc. Use the supporting attachments. Jumps up team.
I just had one question. This is in the consultation document, like, you know, the pretty one.
Yes.
And one in the copy that we've seen that's kind of has pictures and stuff. It says that we will work with iwi and other stakeholders, and I wonder if that should say we will work with iwi and stakeholders, because they're not a stakeholder, they're a treaty partner, and I think that needs to be really clear in there that we're not referring to as another stakeholder.
Thanks. Councillor Chris. Councillor Robbie.
I have to wait for it to go through more formal places, Your Worship, before I can ask any questions, just in case it's not appropriate.
No, that's right. So is everyone okay? Conscious that we need to adopt these likely to be at a point in the future, not to be adopted today. but also mindful that if there's any questions that might affect the document, that we need to highlight those now because we're conscious that we need to get effective work if we get any substantive changes. So you want to give me a bit of a nod? Eyes up, you're comfortable there? Yep. Cool. Yep, okay, so I think we'll move forward. We're comfortable with that. To be advised when we need to meet again to adopt that. Cool. All okay? Yeah, cool. Okay, so we'll move now to 4, which is the Borough of Canterbury long-term plan consultation document. We go to page number.
So on this one, Fabian sends her apologies, but she's obviously getting a bit of an overview of the ETN and LTV consultation document that's currently up for submission from the community. There's a whole range of information in there. Obviously, the engagement closes on the 11th of April, and really the purpose of this report is to see any particular items of interest that we want to highlight to ECAM prior to us preparing that submission. And obviously, that can be about supporting programs of work that they may have, or suggesting other ideas that you may want to put to. So, some more hints as to what we want to cover.
Cool, thank you. Just one thing from me before we put it to the floor. Councillor Billington and I met with the Rowing Club and in regard to the weir and some investment that needs to happen there for the Rowing Club to be able to really enjoy it all year round rowing areas, environment, thank you. So I think it's important that we support the teaching, and that's probably anywhere that we support them around a target way to deal with it. Needs some investment as well. So do you want to just maybe speak in support if you so wish, Councillor Billington as well?
Yeah, look, I think it's important. It's been the way the weir operates hasn't been successful for 20 years. A number of people have blocked fish holes and taken out, and the whole thing isn't working as it should be for a recreation facility, mainly for rowing, but for other activities on the water there. And a targeted rate would help fix that infrastructure so everyone would benefit. So it'd be good for us to support that.
Thank you. So I think we've got that recorded.
So, just to be clear on that one, is the Rowing Club putting a submission?
So they'll put their own submission in and we'll connect them this week. But it's important that we support that as well. Yes, Councillor Phillips.
I'd really like to see us strongly support keeping my way. I think it's really important for tomorrow. And we'll be able to try and see it going. I expect everyone, but I expect council agrees with that, really. That's a great thing for us to have. If we didn't have fun with that and we lost it, it would be a real shame. It'll help us meet some of our climate change goals as well.
Thanks. Councillor Phillips, Councillor Booth.
I think to see that the highways included in both options for Canterbury.
I don't think it's on the second option, is it? Option 2.
Actually, I think it's out. Great. It's actually not here.
Option 2, you can not apply the same level of funding to public transport, including continuing the highway on demand.
Right. Yeah, so we lose it under option 2, or it won't be funded. Yeah, and that would be a shame.
That's right. So I think the question is more around do we support their funding or potentially should they look to loan funds? So, what are the approaches? And that's been identified in there. you got any comments on that? Councillor?
Yeah, look, I think my way for it's a great service, but there's quite a cost at $9 per ride, per subsidy. So I'm with you, Nigel, they need to look at some sort of loan funding rather than just pass that on as a flat rate.
Any increase in the use, because that's the best way to make it more cost effective.
Any other? Oh, thank you. Is that good? Oh, sorry.
Just point out that one way too, yeah, it is a cost around one facility, right, but again, we can grow the patronage and there's still a lot more efficiency in the depth of the service as well, so that cost will come down. I do believe, yeah, it's very important. I think it is the future of public transport. This leading way, and I think that it will be used a lot more in the future, which will be in terms of creating efficiencies.
Well, thank you. Any other comments on that? I think general support, comfortable with that. Anything else you would ask me again, Philip?
Yeah, there's one other one, is that in the camp, they are allocated $8.5 million because they're at the time of self-funded recovery. Yeah. It'd be worthwhile showing support.
Supporting that, yeah, that's sort of positive as well, yeah. Cool, anything else? So that submission will have to go in, I think it's the post.
So it closes on the 11th of April, so we'll be there in the next period of time, and I think we've got a recommendation that goes right into your worship.
Yep.
And the chair of the Romansh Services may want to add in some of the other chiefs if they have got responsibility for an area as well.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to move that and just to move the other chairs. Councillor Catsfield.
Just for clarity, so we're supporting their 24.5% rate increase.
It's a very good question. Commentary around that. Everyone's quiet.
We've also asked for an extra target rate, so there we go.
Councillor Brooks.
Yeah, I made a personal submission on this the other day and it was really interesting. I know that's a massive rate increase and I guess we're probably supporting all of the things that rate increase would bring, all of those activities. But when you work out the rate increase, interesting to look at your own property, on some properties it's actually a very small increase. So while 24 is massive, in dollar terms, it's like we were talking about before, in dollar terms, for a lot of properties, it's actually a small number of dollars. So I just think that's 20, if you thought of all of your rates and added 24.9% on, that would make your hair stand on end, but that's unlikely to be the case for many properties. So there's a very easy calculator in there for doing your own.
Thanks to others.
There will be some people paying more, of course.
So any other comments? Good question. I think we need to probably deal with that. The question as a doc is, do you support those numbers or do we support leading darts, governments saying that they need to make a decision, they can make the best decision for the community that elected them. So, I'm comfortable that they can make the best decision based on the option rather than whether that, after they look at their submissions, ends up being more in favour of loan funding. So they're key to tell the other entity what they should do in regard to how they fund potentially their pathway. Councillor.
Well, I guess interestingly, they wait to the end of the consultation process like we will, and they will learn from the ratepayers what they think, just as we will. So I'm not sure it's time for us to leave it out and say, yes, we support that they are going through the same process as us, they should carry on and occur. I'm not comfortable that we blanketly say that we support that at this moment. Haven't heard from our ratepayers and theirs, so David's ground to go on, I look forward, particularly David's ground. Comments.
Yeah, look, and I think we can support the projects with that and leave it up to the government's team to make a decision, to your point. And we don't want to be seen to be influencing conversations either. Councillor Wills.
I just want to absolutely support what Councillor Lyon has just said. Absolutely agree with where he's at. I think the due process is still going through, and I think we've got to be very cautious and mindful about where we sit with our citizen organisation as well. So can we just note it and move it that way, and then we sit on it and wait for the further consultation process to finish.
Sure. Councillor Burton.
I support Councillor Wills, but do we need to note somewhere in there the particular projects that we're supporting?
Yeah, I think we've probably highlighted a couple and there'll be out outside of anything else. I think it's sort of a short, very short time frame for people to feed in to myself with the chairs to influence that. But otherwise, yes, sorry, Councillor.
No, just to be a bit of clarity around potential support for the targeted rate. What area are you suggesting should be targeted for the rate for solid brick?
The Tibu urban area, but I do know growers also come from rural areas. So,
yeah. Thank you, Councillor.
I just back to the EGN. Do we have to ratify or do anything at all? I mean, it's their decision. They're doing what they do. I mean, what's that got to do with us other than we send the bill out? That's it. You know, they have to justify what they're doing and how they're charging. It's not really
No, yeah.
We shouldn't be able to do it at all.
Yeah, look, I think in regard to the monetary side of it, you know, support them with view, but in regard to, you know, our communities, you know, cross boundaries, the same people, we're talking to them, and we're all trying to deliver on community outcomes. They'll submit to our document, to our process, just as we would to them. So I think it's important that we both engage and support, you know, direction and challenge when necessary.
Yeah, I guess everything needs to be done in proportion, and 24% does seem a hell of a lot in proportion to even what we're looking at 10.5, which we have planned. And anything, when you have a big splurge like that, there's something seriously wrong when you've got to increase your rates by 25%. That's simply a comment. I can't. Simply got nothing, you know, say it should be in everything should be yes,
yeah, I think there might be a challenge for central government around local government funding. Potentially, I'm sure they'll listen to us as they have done in the past. Look, otherwise, I think we've kept it around enough. So I move the position just to make a slight change to include chairs. Can someone second that? Thank you. That's Wills. Motion to all those in favour, please say aye. It's carried. Thank you very much. We move through to 9.5, page 153, and that is the performance.
Thank you. So this is presenting obviously to the February 2021, 3 components essentially to it. The sort of overall key performance indicators, performance measures in terms of where they're currently up to at the end of that date, an overview of the capital work program and the financial position. So it's all pretty straightforward. So it's really up to you to ask any questions if I'm missing any responses to the comment.
Mr. Harvey, Bit quiet.
Looks like it's a struggle.
Councillor Booth.
I like to see in there that the Untitled Chapter, there's 3 items that haven't really achieved or outside your KPIs of what you're hoping to achieve. I can probably understand the work, but I was struggling to understand why we're still not around the Untitled Chapter.
Thank you for your question. I think on the art gallery, work is progressing and they are heading into the detail design and all of the work is progressing. It's just that it will go over this financial year. They expect a total expenditure of about 350,000 at year end. And everything is well in place to progress with resource consent application, building consent application, and continue delivering the work. The house strengthening in itself wasn't planned to be fully delivered this year, and so it's just based on the budget that was budgeted for this year. There will be less expenditure this year, but the project is continuing and progressing.
Please say that. That's one.
Any other questions, Ben? No? Comfortable with that? What's going to move it? Here comes Gilchrist. That's Wills. Motion to the floor. All those in favour, please say aye. It's carried. Thank you. Easy enough. So, no business, lecture.
Sorry, I've just got a question.
Yes.
A couple of days ago on staff, I said a remote Harare bridge is going to be replaced by the TDC at the cost of 150,000. We're using data from the Mackenzie District Council. Apparently it's on the boundary. I just want to know what we're paying for it. And Mackenzie aren't helping pay for it. We're using all their stats and it is on all the report.
Yeah, I do know the bridge, a few times over the years. Who wants to speak to that? Susan, you might just talk to that briefly.
Yes, sure.
Thanks. So you come on. Thank you. Should be one actually. Yeah, I just want to talk about the stuff. That's
Sorry. Yes, so the bridge was has been assessed over a number of years. We assess it every 3 years to ensure safety. So it has been determined that the abutments, so not the actual superstructure itself, but the abutments are at the end of life, are not safe. So the Mackenzie District Council have gifted us the superstructure, which we'll be reusing, so that's their contribution, which we'll be using another area on the network for a pedestrian bridge. So that's the component.
So whereabouts we're going to use the superstructure?
The superstructure is looking to be used on the Grange Settlement Road for the pedestrian link into it. Keeping in mind that the structure itself is part funded by the Kotahi as well through our normal funding arrangements there.
awesome. Cool. Thanks so much. I think that's the agenda. We just need to move to a public exclude there. Thank you, Councillor Chris. Councillor Booth, thank you. For those public, please say aye. Thanks, Kerry. Thank you.